Ooh, it's time for this year's first installment of Hannahween! If you don't know what Hannahween is, it's this annual thing I'm doing where every October I'm reviewing some horror or Halloween-esque type of movies. And, Hannahween, my last name is Hannah. I'm funny. But, yeah. Last year I only did 3 movies, and that was Boo! A Madea Halloween, Boo! To a Madea Halloween, and Hocus Pocus. So, yeah, this year I want to try to do a few more, as well as doing different kinds of reviews. But hopefully that'll, be later. But today, I'm starting off with a review of a movie that I think is one of the best horror movies of this decade, and maybe of all time, The Babadook. The Babadook is a Australian horror movie starring Essie Davis and Noah Wiseman, and it's about this mother and son, and the son is a very reckless kid. He misbehaves all the time, he makes all these weird weapons and breaks things, and he yells and screams a lot, and he's just a troublemaker. And while the mother is trying to, make her son behave, she and her son start seeing a monster that stalks them during the night called Mr. Babadook. And from there on out, it's just a bunch of tension and a bunch of scares. It's just a fantastic film. I love The Babadook. The Babadook is a fantastic film. Not just horror film, but it's just so engrossing. Now let me start with Essie Davis. Essie Davis gives one of the best performances I've ever seen in a horror movie. She feels so distraught in this film. Her performance feels stunningly real. And I really think she should have gotten nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress that year, because she was just outstanding on every level. And Noah Wiseman was also really good in this movie. And the weird thing about his character is that you really hate him at the beginning of this film. You really hate him. But then this movie really knows how to make you support him by the end of the film. I'm not giving any spoilers away, but it does a really good job at that, making you side with this little kid who beforehand was just this really annoying, this big annoyance. And that was on purpose. It's not like, oh god, what the fuck is with this kid? I mean, well, you are saying that, but the movie is trying to make you say that. It wants you to be annoyed by this kid in the beginning of the film. And it works. It actually does work for the film. Also, I'm going to say this. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, and you haven't seen Chris Duckman's review of The Babadook, or his video, the problem with horror movies today, if you haven't seen The Babadook, don't watch any of the trailers for The Babadook, and don't watch those 2 videos I just mentioned from Chris Duckman. They kind of give away certain elements of The Babadook. Like, for example, in Chris Duckman's video of, the problem with horror movies today, there's a couple times where he zooms in on an image and describes something about the Babadook, and the way it zooms in on something kind of gives away what the Babadook is supposed to mean. And look, I'm not trying to criticize Chris Duckman. No, don't take this out of context. I'm not putting hate on Chris Duckman. I'm not. I'm just saying I think he may have inadvertently gave away what the Babadook is actually supposed to mean in this movie. And that leads into my other point in this film. There are some people who have criticized the Babadook, not Stuckman. There are other people who have criticized this film by saying that really there's not enough of the Babadook in it, or that the Babadook kind of feels like a last-minute decision to be put in the movie. I really challenge that notion because, I mean, yeah, the Babadook itself is not seen a lot. Hell, you never really get a good look at the creature. But the whole point of the Babadook is really supposed to be that it's really more of, I'm not going to try to give away anything, but the Babadook is really supposed to mean another thing in a movie. It's supposed to be sort of a metaphor for something. That's all I'm going to say. It could be anything. It really could be anything. But once you see the movie, you're like, oh, okay. That's what the Babadook is supposed to mean. I feel like some people didn't really catch up on that. I feel like some people did try to take this at face value and, you know, said, "Hey, why is there even a Babadook in this movie? Like, it's not really that impactful." It really is impactful when you look at it in the context of a metaphor. And it does work on both a face value point of view and, you know, an in-depth point of view. It really does work, in my opinion, and it really is really creepy. And like I said, you're not going to get a full look at the Babadook, so don't go into this thinking you're going to get a big monster movie, you know, where it's just going to be a bunch of blood, guts, and just a bunch of shots of the monster like, Ugh. It's much more than a monster movie. That's what I will say. But yeah, if you have not seen the Babadook yet, go watch it. Buy the Blu-ray, watch it on Netflix. It is on Netflix, and I'm telling you, it is a fantastic horror movie. It's one of the best I've seen that came out in the 2010s, and it's probably one of the best I've seen maybe even ever. And so, I'm giving the Babadook a 10 out of 10. So, have you seen the Babadook? If you have seen the Babadook, let me know down in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, share the video so we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page, or if you can't do that, consider supporting me through the PayPal donation button in the description below. And if you want to see more, click this.